All right, Shalom to the hopeful elect, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Kol Haloyim, La Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai. All praises to our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, who is the God of the heavens and the earth. Double honor, as always, Yah to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Habayath, Madawadah, the house of David, the brothers laboring day in and day out to make their calling of election sure. And to the Akim and Akwath, Yakya, Wa'akwafya, who listen and believe on the glorious gospel of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua that's being preached to the four corners of the earth. Unto you I say Shalom. Shalom to the hopeful light. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying for those that have eyes to see and ears to hear, which is through the Rakak Wadash, which is the Holy Spirit. So we're going to jump right into it. I have a few articles here. The first one I'm going to bring out is from PHYS from physics.org, and it's dated 4 days ago. And the title, as you see on the screen here, says, Scientists announce a breakthrough in determining life's origin on Earth and maybe Mars. So now we see the classic example of the man of sin, which is Esau Edom, reaching, right? Reaching, trying to come up with answers and trying to come up with more of his propaganda campaign to continue to keep the people that are awakening, more specifically the Israelites, the hopeful elect that's awakening, to try to lull them back to sleep and lull the world back to sleep. You know, because this phenomenon that's coming to pass, which is, you know, the children of Israel, starting with the elect, that's waking up on the four corners of the earth. So as the prophecies, you know, come to pass and Esau's demise become more and more inevitable, and he's losing his power, his autonomy, you know, his preeminence over the planet, his rule, his dominion, you know, and in this going on, you know, he's reaching, he's looking for answers, he's trying to hold on to his power, but that sand in the hourglass is almost out, and the rule of the wicked is almost done. So, you know, part of his propaganda campaign, once again, which is known in the Bible and the book of Revelation as the wine of Babylon, you know, is a pseudoscience and it's technology. And this is part of it. So let's read a little bit of this article. It says scientists at the Foundation for Applied Molecular Evolution announced today that ribonucleic and RNA, an analog of DNA that was likely the first genetic material for life, simultaneously forms a basalt lava glass. Such glass was abundant on Earth. It says 4.35 billion years ago. That right there shows you the Earth is not that, you know, the Earth is not that old when you read through the Holy Scriptures, right? So we see that this man is always pushing this propaganda. This is part of his wine, right? Part of his lies. It says, saying that the Earth is 4 billion years old. You know, it goes on to say similar basalts of this antiquity survive on Mars today. So he's saying that a lot of what that word antiquity goes into ancient, you know, what's ancient can be found on Mars. It says communities studying the origins of life have diverged in recent years, remarked Stephen Brenner, a co-author of the study appearing online in the journal Astrobiology. One community revisits classical questions with complex chemical schemes that require difficult chemistry performed by skilled chemists, Brenner explained. Their beautiful craft work appears in brand name journalists such as Nature and Science. However, precisely because of the complexity of this chemistry, it cannot possibly account for how life actually originated on Earth. In contrast, the Foundation study takes a simpler approach led by Elisa Bondi. The study shows that long RNA molecules, 100 to 200 nucleotides in length, form from the nucleoside triosfates, do nothing more than percolate through ballistic glass. So now we see here clearly, we heard about the 4 billion years ago. Now we're hearing about how life didn't originate on Earth, you know, and we're seeing the push of science constantly. And once again, that push of science is really pseudoscience, which is, you know, the lies, you know, part of the signs, the lies, and the wonders of this devil. Now, I'm not going to read much of this article, but this is from livescience.com, and it's dated 4 days ago. And it says here, as you can see on the screen, it says the aliens are all hanging out on Dyson spheres, circling white dwarfs, physicist argues. Now it goes on to say, for no one has found evidence of intelligent aliens elsewhere in the cosmos, but if they do exist, they might be hanging out on Dyson spheres, circling the husks of sun-like stars called white dwarfs scattered throughout the Milky Way. It says a new paper argues. And that's there. And that's there we should be focusing our research for extraterrestrials. Study co-author Ben Zuckerman. It says a professor of physics and astronomy at the University of California in Los Angeles, this is at UCLA, told Live Science in an email, based on what that search turns up, astronomers could estimate that how many advanced civilizations lurk in the galaxy, he said. So they're trying to find life, throughout the galaxy. Now, the only life that's, anywhere else but the first heaven, which is the earth is known as the first heaven, and the second heaven is known as the universe. And then the third heaven is the spirit realm. So that life is all spirits go back to the spirit realm. But the angels maneuver on the so-called UFOs, which are the chariots of the Lord in the Bible, and come from the heavens to the earth and throughout the heavens. They come from the spirit realm, and throughout the second heaven, which is the universe, right? So that life is because the truth is here, and the angels are manifesting themselves more, and the chariots are manifesting themselves more. So they see, that there's a phenomenon, there's something that's greater that they can't explain, that they can't encapsulate, that they can't put into words. I heard one of the scientists speak one time and say that the technology that they see and have seen and been studying concerning the chariots is at least 1,000 years beyond the technology that's known on the earth, which really is probably beyond that. It could be 10,000 years ahead in time. So what we're seeing is the son of perdition, Esau Edom. He's reaching because he don't have the answers, and he's losing his kingdom, and he's losing power, and he's losing control. So let's jump into the scriptures real quick. I got what I wanted from the articles, made the points I wanted to make. Let's see what thus saith the words of the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua concerning the man of sin, right? 2 Thessalonians 2:3, it says, let no man deceive you by any means. So the man that's deceiving the earth is Esau Edom, which is the man of sin, right? Shaitan, which is the adversary, the devil, the deceiver of the earth. For that day shall not come, which is the coming of Yahushua, except there come a falling away first. The children of Israel had to go into slavery, which is the curses had to come upon them, which is Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, more specifically Deuteronomy 28:68, where our people would be sent into New Egypt, which is Babylon the Great, America. They would lose all knowledge of who they were, right? They would be known as the hidden ones because their identity would be no more on the earth, which is who are the true people of the Most High. It says, except there come a falling away first, there was a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, the son of destruction, the son of damnation. So who is the man of sin? It's Esau Edom. When you read Malachi, the 1st chapter, you read here in 2 Thessalonians, and you read throughout the Bible, so the man of sin, is known as Esau Edom. He's known also as the border of wickedness. So he's the man that's adverse to life. He's adverse to nature. He's adverse to the Most High. He's adverse to truth. He's adverse to righteousness. He's adverse once again to life itself, right? Continuing on. That's the son of perdition, which is Esau Edom. It says, who opposeth and exalteth himself, and it's just speaking about the Edomites, above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. So he sits in the power seat of the earth, and he pushes and promotes and propagates, that he has all the answers, and that he is God. through his science and through his technology, which is a science and pseudoscience. We're going to get that here in a second. So now let's get a quick precept showing that. It's the book of the Obadiah 1 and verse 3. It says, the pride of thine heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. Speaking of Esau, Edom, when you look up that word rock, it goes back to Petra, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? And that's the pride of Esau. He doesn't believe he's ever going to lose, his power seat, which all the other ancient civilizations, were given a time to rule, and then they fell. But he doesn't believe he's going to fall because his pride has deceived him. His pseudoscience and technology, has deceived him into believing that he's the Most High, that he can supersede the Most High. Verse 4, Obadiah 1 and 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, showing you that's the sign of Babylon the Great, which is America today, the bald eagle. So Esau exalts himself like the eagle. And though thou set thy nest among the stars, meaning he goes into space, though he has the technology to go in space, right? Thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. But the Lord's going to bring this devil down, because that's what God, the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, the highest power, has always proposed to do. And throughout the Bible, he says he's going to bring Esau down, because Esau, he's hated, but Jacob is who the Lord loves. Jacob is who the Lord, through the remnant, is going to give salvation to and give reconciliation to in the kingdom of heaven forever and ever, dominion forever. It's going to be through the remnant seed, right? Which is known as the elect. So the Lord's going to bring the Edomites down to the ground for all of their wickedness. And this man has a God complex. See, his rulership has led him to believe and think that once again, he has superseded the Most High. So now, as we continue on, we see that his wine, his philosophies is not working no more, because the truth is on the scene now, right? The men of the Lord are here revealing who he is and bringing out the truth, destroying all the covering casts that have been over all people and have been over the world. As the scriptures say, the earth is in darkness and gross darkness to people. But the election are receiving the light, the truth, right? Now, let's continue on with another precept, Revelation 13, and let's go right to the point. Revelation 13 and verse 13. And it reads, and he, speaking of Esau, Edom, doeth great wonders. Let's get that word for wonders, right? It says he doeth great wonders. And what are these great wonders that he's doing? Because these great wonders is what has seduced the world. Scriptures say that the whole earth has been drunken by the wine of Babylon. So when you go into the word wonders, it's G4592. And it's the word Semion. And that word wonders goes into a token, which is a symbol or, a sign, that which a person or a thing is distinguished from others and is known. It says a sign, a portent, i.e. an unusual occurrence. So these wonders are unusual occurrences, which is his, advanced technology, his AI, his artificial intelligence, and his cutting edge medical advancements, and the way he can turn a woman into a man. These are unusual occurrences. It says transcending. See, these things are transcending. It says the common course of nature. And once again, that's him also going and now using, now going into mammals and showing and making mammals asexual. Continuing on, of signs, it says pretending remarkable events soon to happen, of miracles and wonders, right? So the miracles and wonders is being done is the pseudoscience, and the advancement in technology. So now let's show that further. Let's go back and read that again. This is Revelation 13 and 13, and he doeth great wonders. That's the pseudoscience, right? His advanced technology, so on and so forth. Those are those great wonders. So that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And this happened also through his advancement in military weaponry, which is, we know, through those ICBMs. Now, this is making reference to, those atomic bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And that brought great fear on the earth. That was part of his signs and lying wonders, you know. So he did this in the sight of men. And this was, you know, a way of him gaining more power and control over the earth. Because when you read in 2nd Ezra, the 12th chapter, it tells you a nation would come that would be feared of all nations that were ever on the earth. And that lines up with this precept here. It's him making the fire come down on the earth. You know, that gave him a power that was never seen on the earth, which is the revised Roman Empire, which is Babylon the Great. Revelation 13 and 14, and deceiveth them. So see, there's a deception. Through his power, he's deceived the earth, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. Let's see what those miracles, let's get that word for miracles. So he's deceiveth the earth and those that inhabitants of the earth by those miracles, you know, and we get the word again. 4592, Semion. That goes into miracles. That's the same word for miracles. Now, when we go back, we continue to read, it says, and he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. So the whore rides the beast. So this is all being done, you know, by the 7 heads and 10 horns, the beast system, saying to them that dwell on the earth, you know, which we know that beast system is NATO and the EU, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. That's the revised Roman Empire. They fell in around 193 AD and came back in the, you know, late to mid 1300s, going into the 1400s. So that rule of the beast system has been around for over 700 years, give or take, you know, 700 plus years. So now what we see is that this man, by splitting the atom, you know, going back to the point of the fire coming down on earth in the sight of men, that technology, you know, the technology, and now that technology has been, you know, has risen to what? To this man having the ability, you know, to create the ICBM, which is thousands of times greater than, you know, what was dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, which killed hundreds of thousands of people. Now he has the ability to kill millions, if not billions of people. So, once again, those on the earth are deceived, right, by the miracles, which is the technology, the pseudoscience, so on and so forth. So now let's show further that the Most High, you know, when you read these articles, the Most High really has posed a challenge to Esau, which he's trying to truly supersede the Most High through his pseudoscience and through his technology, because the Most High posed a challenge to him, and I'm going to show that here in the scriptures real quick. Ezekiel 33, and I'm going to start at verse 35. Ezekiel 33, or Salakia, Jeremiah 33. Jeremiah 33. So Jeremiah 33, and we'll start at verse 35. And see the challenge that the Most High posed to him, which is why we see this devil constantly trying to go further into the heavens and, you know, push further and further, you know, to be that ruling power on the earth. Really, he's trying to supersede the Most High. So this is the book of Jeremiah 31. Jeremiah 31. So lock here once again. This computer acting funny. Give me 1 second. Jeremiah 31, starting at verse 35. All right, there we go. This is the book of Jeremiah 31. And we'll start at verse 35, and it reads, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea. It says, when the waves thereof roar, the Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name. Verse 36, if those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord Yahweh, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever. So the Lord said, if you know, if those ordinances, the things that the Lord has set to be here forever, you know, if those ordinances depart from me, then he said he would do away with Israel. Continuing on, verse 37, Jeremiah 31 and 37, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, if heaven above can be measured, that's why Esau is trying to go all into the heavens, right? He's trying to measure the heavens, show that he has, you know, the knowledge of, you know, how old the earth is, and the distance from the moon to the sun, and all the other planets in the solar system, which is impossible for him to know. The Most High has made it impossible for him to know these things, but he's trying to push because this is that challenge. The Lord's put it in his spirit, to try to do such a thing. Thus saith the Lord, if heaven can be measured and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord Yahweh. So the Lord said he would do away, with the seed of Israel, with his people, which we know that that's not possible, because when you read throughout the Bible, the Lord said that he preferred Israel, Jerusalem, over his chief joy, right? So this is the challenge that the Most High posed to Esau, which is why we see him, acting in the manner in which he does. So let's show that further. This is the book of Job, the 14th chapter, Job 14 and verse 5, and it reads, seeing his days are determined, see his days are numbered. The number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. The Lord has given him bounds, that he can't pass. So this devil, has severe limitations. The Lord's only going to allow him to do so much, and he's at the end, of those limitations that he has. That power that he has is at his very end. It's waning, right? So he's losing that power. He has bounds that he cannot pass. He hasn't went and done all the things he said he's done. Went to the moon and went here and went there and did all these things. The knowledge he proposes. Once again, saying the earth is 4.5 billion years old. No, that's incorrect according to the Bible. Saying that the so-called Latinos and Native Americans got to the Americas by way of the Bering Strait myth. Well, the Bible tells you how the 10 tribes got here. Everything that he's pushing is all lies. That's the signs and lying wonders, right? So now I'll close it out with this. You go to 2nd Ezra, right, the 4th chapter. Part of that challenge the Lord proposed, here's an example through the Spirit of how Esau Edom, is trying to be all knowing, sit in the seat of the Most High, acting as if he is. And this is an example of Uriel talking to, the prophet Ezra, and look what's said, and it could be likened unto the nature of Esau, right? 2nd Ezra 4, I'm going to start at verse 2. It says, and said, thy heart hath gone too far in this world, and thinkest thou to comprehend the way of the Most High. So Esau believes this as well. Now, this is being said once again of Uriel, one of the archangels, speaking to the prophet, Ezra, right? But the mind of Esau is he believes this. Continuing on, because Ezra was inquiring of different things. So I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to go, matter of fact, I'll go right to the point. Let's go down to verse 4. It says, whereof, if thou canst declare me one, I will show thee also the way that thou desirest to see. And I shall show thee from whence the wicked heart cometh. And I said, tell on, my Lord. Then said he unto me, go thy way, weigh me the weight of the fire. So now Uriel was saying, hey, go, if you want to know certain things you want to know, right? Go and measure me. Go and do these things, and I'll show you and tell you everything that you want to know concerning the heavenly things. So he says, once again, then said he unto me, verse 5, go thy way and weigh me the weight of the fire, or measure me the blast of the wind, or call me again the day that is past. Then answered I and said, what man is able to do that? It says that thou shouldest ask such things of me. And this is the prophet Ezra saying, well, that's impossible. No one could do that, right? Being in the spirit. But when you show this parallel in the spirit, Esau believes opposite. He believed that he can do all these things. He believes that he is the Most High. But can he measure the weight of fire? Can he measure the blast of the wind? Can he bring back a day that's past? No. Can he measure out the heavens as the Lord proposed a challenge to him? And if he could do that, he would do away with Israel being his people. So I just want to show this parallel before I close it out, right? And showing you the difference in the mind of an Israelite as opposed to the mind of an Edomite, and the spirit of an Israelite as opposed to the spirit of an Edomite. Continuing on. Verse 7, 2 Ezra 4 and 7, it says that he said unto me, if I should ask thee how great dwellings are in the midst of the sea, or how many springs are in the beginning of the deep, or how many springs are above the firmament, or which are the outgoings of paradise, peradventure thou wouldest say unto me, I never went down into the deep, nor as yet into hell, neither did I ever climb up into heaven. Nevertheless, now have I asked thee, but only of the fire and wind, and of the day wherethrough thou hast passed, and of things from which thou canst not be separated, and yet canst thou give me no answer of them. And Esau Edom can't give no answer, for the ordinances and measuring the heavens, as the Lord said. So once again, he's caught up in the God complex. He believes his rulership, through pseudoscience and his technology, and through him, actually deceiving the whole world, that he's going to be able to keep his power. But as it says in Sirach 10 and 8, that this man of sin is going to lose his power, that the kingdom is being translated from one people to another, from the righteous, from the wicked to the righteous. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So with that, I hope that was edifying to the hopeful elect. Barakateh Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash, double honor to the elders and apostles. Peace, love, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Habayah from Adawadah, the house of David, the brothers laboring day in and day out to make their call of election sure, and to the Akim and Agwath who listen and truly believe on the glorious gospel of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai that's being preached. Unto you I say shalom. So shalom to the hopeful elect.